that takes us to match 2.
Yeah, well, we get Mean Gene in between matches interviewing the Steiner brothers.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this is your first introduction to the Steiner brothers, Rick Steiner and Scott Steiner.
Yes.
You heard them talking at this point before the match.
Yes.
Did you have any like feelings after that promo or interview was cut? Like, I'm rooting for. Did that help sway you? Like when you saw them walking out, or were you still rooting for the Headshrinkers,
Okay.
Fatu and Samu?
Right. So, like you said, match 2, which comes in at 14 minutes and 22 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
The Steiner brothers, Rick Steiner, Scott Steiner against the Headshrinkers, Fatu with Afa. I'm rooting for both, which I know is a little funky. How can I? How can you do this? How can you root for both? But I did. I thought they both were pretty cool. And I think this is the first time I saw the Headshrinkers. So I thought this was pretty awesome. Again, I'm a fan of a tag team match. And I thought this one was a really good one. Okay. I do have some tidbits.
Go ahead. Get into it.
So, okay, the Headshrinkers.
Yes.
They're a Samoan SWAT team, also known as the Samoan Gangster Party, which I thought was cool. Also known as Gangstas in Paradise. I don't know if they named themselves before or after the song.
I'm assuming this is after the song. I pretty much remember that that Gangster's Paradise with Coolio probably came out in 94.
I mean, that's really interesting. What came before, the chicken or the egg? So we need to find that one out.
Yes.
And the team originally was comprised of Fatu and Samu, but they had various iterations, including Big Matty Smalls, Samoan Savage, and Sion, if I'm saying that right. And most members of the team were members of the Anoi family. So I apologize if I'm like butchering any of those names. But I have nothing but respect for.
The chicken came first. Aristotle said so, says our friend.
Oh, interesting. I'm a big fan of the Usos. Roman Reigns.
Yeah, you actually have a connection to the Usos here. We have their father. Fatu is actually known as Rikishi, who is the father of Jimmy and Jay, who I forgot their actual real names are, but they are the tag team currently known as the Usos. Right now they're separate. And Solo Sikoa is also their brother, so he would be the father of Solo as well. We have Afa, who is their uncle. And the reason
I mean, they're part of the bloodline, right?
Yeah, they are currently the ones that are, I guess, the tribal elders. And let's see, and Joshua's the other one. Raymond's referring to the real names of the Uso brothers.
Thank you.
Also, another note from our friend Raymond here on our Facebook Live. Also, Amish Paradise is better than Gangster Paradise. It is a better lyrical song, but the video is not as good. So I would have to call it even there.
Yeah, so I was super excited to see this introduction for me into the bloodline. So I had to do a little look up on that because I was super curious, very interested, and excited to see them wrestle. But I'd be remiss if I didn't talk about the Steiner brothers. They're pretty tall. Rick is 5'11", Scott is 6'1", and their debut was in 1989.
Okay.
Oh, do you want me to tell more?
I mean, I think you had something more.
Okay, so they won 11 World Tag Team Championships, one United States Tag Team Championship before disbanding in 1998. So that's what I have.
Okay.
So what did you think about it?
About them?
Yeah, I mean the match.
The match? I thought the match was good. I was having no issues with like the excuse me, I wanted to call them the Wild Samoans, but the Headshrinkers, I had no problems with them.
Okay.
Actually, like I didn't actually remember paying attention to this obviously when I was younger, so that means that I would have been rooting for the Steiner brothers
Okay.
if I had to make a choice, but I don't think I was a fan of the Steiner brothers either. So I probably just like young me would have just glazed over, but me paying attention now, I was a fan of the Headshrinkers, and Fatu did a lot of work in this match.
Yes.
And you can see primarily that this is, I guess, where you could say that the Uso brothers, Jimmy and Jay, would have been able to probably watch their father's old videos or tapes or get his lessons from them. And that's, as much as they're a great tag team, you're now seeing them kind of try to flourish on their own as a solo.
Mm-hmm.
And this might be one of the rare occasions where you might get both of them actually being successful on their own.
Mm.
Another comment from our Facebook Live: Rick was always the better Steiner, except when it comes to math.
Oh.
Yeah. And
Hmm.
don't if you ever need your taxes done or need someone to balance your checkbooks, do not get Scott Steiner to do it.
Oh. Intriguing. So the Steiner brothers defeat the Headshrinkers by pinfall. Are you satisfied with this win?
No, because I really think that the head shrinker should have won. I understand that it's like their actual like first match, like to try to build themselves momentum.
Okay.
For the Steiners, especially like the uh, the reputation that they've had in other federations or other wrestling groups.
Okay.
But the head shrinkers did such a great job that I felt that they actually should have gotten the win.
Right. Yeah.
But
I agree with you. Dare I say that this tag team match.
Maria is being Baymax. Are you satisfied with this win?
Are you satisfied? I
Uh,
love that
yeah.
movie. And I love when he asks him.
Hmm.
Oh, wow. If you have not watched Baymax, it's a beautiful story.
Big Hero 6 is the actual movie,
Yes.
and then they make a little
Vignettes.
no, little like TV series, because this
Oh,
is when Disney was trying to make a TV series out of all the movies that they made.
okay.
So then they called it Baymax
But
and
Big
whatever.
Hero 6 is super sweet. The
Hmm.
animation is great. I love the story and I've watched it many times. So if you haven't watched it, please do because it's just really good and might give you all the feels.
Yeah. So was this one of your favorite matches? Would you recommend this match or?
I would recommend that you revisit the Mania with us and watch this match. It's definitely worth a rematch.
Yeah, and talking
I
about
mean, a
it,
rewatch. I
I
don't know. I
mean,
don't think we'd be able to get a rematch.
you
So,
would. You could get as many rematches out of it, but the conclusion is going to be the same. Nothing's ever going to change. But yeah. At first, this was one of my borderline matches, but talking it with you and like seeing more and paying more attention to my notes
yeah.
and like everything that Fatu or Rikishi, as he's going to be known later, does in this match.
Hmm.
uh, I would recommend someone watches it because Rikishi later on doesn't get as much credit as he should for the amount of time that he's been wrestling. But at that time, we hadn't known that he'd been wrestling all the way back to WrestleMania '93, unless you were really paying attention. And we're getting those Wrestling Observer magazines or
Wow.
had early access to the internet. And
Were you also getting Word Up magazine?
no,
No. Okay.
so yeah, I definitely recommend that if you are looking to watch WrestleMania 9 and you only have 14 minutes and 22 seconds to watch, please watch this match of the Headshrinkers versus the Steiner Brothers.
Can we
And
talk?
I'm back to choosing the tag team match for my WrestleMania favorite matches.
So this is a favorite for you.
Yeah,
All
and I agree
right.
with Raymond. It's sad that a generation of fans only know Rikishi as the guy that rubs his acids on his opponent's faces. Yes, and that's why I recommend people to watch this match, Raymond, because there's a lot of work that he puts into this match. That looking at my notes and reading everything over, that I'm like, wow, I'm very impressed with the way Rikishi did the work in this match.
I love to hear it. So if you're curious, like I was, about, well, tag team matches in general, because tag team matches have been my favorite. The first recorded tag team match in professional wrestling was by San Francisco promoters in 1901. So to add some diversity of entertainment to their cards, it was introduced as a regional gimmick, but it gained national attention in the 30s. So just a thank you. I read that on sports.com,
I wonder
lastwordsports.com.
if that would have been something that came from one of the Samoan people, because I remember reading, I think for the first WrestleMania,
Yeah.
that High Chief Peter Maivia had a lot of work that he was doing in San Francisco. So I'll have to look
Interesting.
back into that,
Okay.
unless our viewer Raymond knows or has the internet more readily available to him. So this leads us to match 3.